How to never read a diet book again. Yes, guys, in this video, I'm gonna save you hundreds, maybe thousands of hours of reading, useless diet books, because after watching this video, I absolutely guarantee you, you will never in your life need to read another diet or weight loss book again. Bold claim, I'm gonna prove it. But before we do that, click the subscribe button below, because on this channel, you're gonna learn the no BS, actual, real world proven and science-based ways to lose weight and get in amazing shape as a successful entrepreneur. What's up, guys? This is Coach Amir from 7figurebody.com, and in today's video, we're going to talk about something that's very near and dear to my heart, and that is saving time. And we're going to do that because, anytime that you read any kind of weight loss book, you're basically wasting, I don't know, however many hours it takes you to go through that book. In this video today, I'm going to share with you the 4 steps that every diet book in history ever written comes down to, and any book that's ever going to be written, because remember, they all follow a very simple formula, and really there's very rarely, if ever, any actual value, anything that really first is true, or two, even if it is true, anything that can actually be used in the real world to actually lose weight, at least long term. Short term, yeah, pretty much any stupidity that we can come up with may work. Just dehydrate yourself, which is all the low carb diets, but pretty much anything else is going to help you drop some scale weight, because it's probably dehydration for the most part. So anyways, without further ado, let's go into the 4 steps that basically all the diet books ever written or that will ever be written are about. Number 1, so step 1 is it is not your fault. So they're going to spend several chapters telling you how it is really not your fault. Obviously, nothing is ever our fault. We cannot have responsibility of anything. If I'm broke, fat, miserable, whatever, POS or anything, it doesn't matter. It is not my fault. It's definitely not my fault. Why? Well, because the pollution, the president, the Russians are invading whatever. It's always some kind of thing that is basically for the reason that you gained weight. It's the food is processed. The soil is not as nutritious as it used to be. The pollution in the air. The animals are kind of being stubborn, and that's why, their meat is more fattening than the other one. So it's not your fault. So basically, usually 1/3 of the book is telling you that it's really not your fault. Okay, so remember, it is not your fault. It's not your responsibility. You being overweight has nothing to do with your actions, what you're eating, how much you're exercising or not exercising. It's definitely not your fault. Got it? Awesome. Let's go to step 2. All right, guys. What is the second thing after somebody tells you it is not your fault? What is the most common thing that you'll ever hear when it comes to anything related to weight loss, dieting, losing body fat? What is it? Calories are not king, okay? Calories in, calories out is wrong. It is not about calories. It is very, we now know that it's very obsolete to think about calories. It's also too simple. It simply cannot be the calories, okay? So remember, calories are not king. They're completely irrelevant for weight loss, at least according to these books, okay? I hope you see the sarcasm there. Alrighty. Now, let's go into the step 3. Okay, guys, so now we know that it's not your fault that you're overweight, number 1. Number 2, we know that it's not the calories, and only people who don't know what they're talking about and they're very obsolete and they don't know about the newest science. That's, the poor souls that think that calories are king, which, they're not, according to these books. Okay? All right, so step 3, once you know those 2, step 3 is here are the things, specific foods or food groups that are making you obese, overweight, whatever, right? Making you gain weight. So if you're reading a low carb, zealot book, then what is it? Well, it's going to be the wheat, or it's going to be the sugar, or it's going to be the, or any carb. Like, name a carb. There's probably a book saying that this is the sole cause of you being overweight, right? So it's sugar in any type, fruit, whatever it is, right? It's definitely, that is what's making you gain weight, okay? So on the other hand, if you are vegan or reading something that has to do with low fat, definitely fats are the reason. This is why we're all overweight, because we're eating way too many fats. Actually, not eating way too many fat. We're just eating fats, and that's terrible for you, horrible, makes you gain weight, kills you, gives you cancer, heart disease, all of this, right? So remember, whatever zealot group that you chose to either participate or at least make fun of, hopefully, maybe you're reading the book about fasting. Tells you, hey, if you eat breakfast, I mean, horrible. Like, how can you just, please don't have breakfast, okay? Having breakfast, bad, horrible, all right? So regardless of what it is, it's either a food group or a certain food, like one isolated food, or a food group, or it's just some part of your lifestyle, like having a breakfast, right? I'm sure somebody's going to come up with, because you exercise in this particular way at this particular time, that's making you gain weight, etc. I'm sure there's something like that, right? Nothing can really surprise us in this industry. So remember, number one, not your fault. Number two, calories are not king. And three is whatever X thing, food item, food group, eating meals at this time or this many meals, that's what making you overweight. And then what is step 4? Obviously, whatever the step 3 was, cut that out. Okay? So carbs are making you fat, cut carbs. Or fats are making you fat, cut fats. Or eating breakfast is making you fat, cut breakfast. That is it. Guys, I hope you see the sarcasm. None of these 4 things are true. Everything, literally every single thing that all the diet books talk about is complete and utter BS. I have had 1,150 clients so far at the time of making this video. I have never had a client on a low carb or low fat diet. I've never had them, they have to eat this many meals or that many meals. They have to eat at this particular time. This is all complete BS. When you know at least the basics, you don't have to really know deep knowledge of, you don't really need to have a deep knowledge of any of this, just the basics. I always say to the fitness experts out there, especially these, writing these books, basic physiology book, like a high school physiology book, would basically tell them that everything they stand for and try to perpetuate and push over outside, to the outside world is completely flawed. You don't have to do any of those things. So remember, our responsibility, absolutely. Nobody force-fed us. When I was a fat kid, nobody held me in a, some kind of jiu-jitsu move like this and then fed me, force-fed me, and that's why I gained weight. No, it was my responsibility. 2, calories absolutely are king for weight loss and weight gain, no question. 3, there is no certain food or food group or any specific food item that you like that you have to get rid of while losing weight. You don't have to do that. You can have anything you want. I am a proponent of a 100% unrestricted diet, meaning anything you like to eat, have it. We just have to time it properly, usually around your workouts for the best results or least damage, if you will. And 2, we really have to control the total amounts of that because, again, calories are king. Okay, and then 4, cut that out. You don't have to cut whatever there is. You can have anything. So that's pretty much, the truth about all the weight loss books. So remember, any diet book, any weight loss book, usually it's never written by the person who is on the, the author. It's usually not that. It's just ghostwriters writing these things by reading a couple of blog posts somewhere. Number 1. And number 2, even if it is the person writing it, this person is deeply, deeply, deeply confused, or like in cases of, some famous doctors or whoever, I believe that they know what they're talking about is complete BS. It ends up at the end of the day, it just ends up being about money. Okay, so when you are, Jason Fung, or when you are Gary Taubes, you make millions of dollars a year pushing BS books. You can't just, after all of that, just come and say, hey guys, I understand I was wrong. Science, common sense, anything that you look at that actually uses brain tells you that I was wrong. Like everything that they stand for is completely wrong. This is true for all the low carb, low fat, fasting, whatever other zealots that you find out there. This is always true, but they can't say that because, they're so deep into that first it's making them millions of dollars every year, and 2, confirmation bias pushes them to keep saying to themselves and to the world that what they're writing about is true when, of course, it is not. So guys, hope this helps. If you liked it, if you like this video, click the like button below. Also hit that notification bell. And if you haven't already, subscribe to this channel, because this is, as an entrepreneur, where you will find an absolute, as you can see, no filters, no BS advice on exactly how to lose body fat and get in the best shape of your life. By the way, one last thing, if you are interested in actually losing weight, please check out in the description of this video. There is a link you can click to check out the 3 steps that I take every entrepreneur. And you can also, on this channel, check out, we have the testimonials playlist. You can see just some of the clients that we have helped and what kind of results they got. If that's something you want, check out the first step that you to do there is check out that video that shows you the 3 steps that you need to take in order to go from wherever you are right now to completely shredded abs, high performance, high energy, absolutely optimal health. Anything that you want really will come from losing body fat and building some muscle and really getting in amazing shape. So guys, thank you so much for watching. See you next time.